Hey guys, what's up? It's Ripe again. In today's story, an entitled rich Karen accuses me of being fake disabled and steals my handicap placard. She then gets what she deserves. Here is what happened. Subscribe to Ripe on YouTube and hit the bell to turn on notifications. After a long week, I decided to take my husband out to a restaurant. We both had a very stressful week at work, so I decided that we deserved a nice dinner out. The restaurant we went to was 30 minutes away from our home. It served the best Italian food in town, which is my husband's favorite. We got there and parked, and as we were getting ready to leave, I saw a woman coming towards us. The woman knocked on my window angrily, so I decided not to open the door yet. She kept aggressively knocking at the window, and then she started spitting on the car. I looked at my husband and said, "I can handle this." I opened the door and got out of the car. "Yes, ma'am, what happened?" I asked. "Why are you spitting on my car?" "What happened is that I need this parking spot," she replied, pointing at our car. "I'm deeply sorry, but we already took this one. There are multiple empty spots in the parking lot." "No, I need this one. I'm overweight and I deserve the handicap spot because I cannot walk too much." "I'm disabled, so I cannot walk too much either. We also have the handicap placard in the car," I replied, already angry. "Can I see the placard in your car?" "No, that's none of your business. Just move your car. Look, there is an empty spot," she replied, pointing at another parking spot. My husband got out of the car and started screaming at the woman. She got a little scared as she started to back off towards her car. "Lady, I saw the BMW you got out of, and if you think you're entitled because of that, you're wrong. We are not moving the car. Also, you can thank me for not punching you in the face," my husband said. "You are fake disabled and I know it. I'm not dumb," she screamed, looking at me. She then went to her car, so I took the opportunity to end the conversation and we finally went inside. From inside, I can hear the woman screaming. I saw her in the window circling our car, so we went out again. "Why are you screaming? Why can't you understand I won't move the car?" I told her. "I cannot make more than 10 steps. I'm overweight," she screamed. "Are you sick? Do you have any disease that makes you fat?" I asked. "What do you mean?" "I'm asking you if you have a disease or if you're just a lazy fat woman, so please answer." She started screaming and pushing me, so I started screaming back at her. She pushed me continuously and started screaming as loud as she could. My husband pushed her off me and stayed beside me as she came close again. The restaurant owner came out, came to us and asked what happened. I explained everything to him, and so did the woman, each of us with a different story. "I understand, ma'am. Please find another parking spot," replied the owner. "This woman's car is already parked here, and I also see the handicap placard in their car." Happily and victorious, I went back inside and finally ordered food. After about 10 minutes, I see the woman finally entering the restaurant. "I see that she found a parking spot after all," said my husband, laughing. As we were talking about the woman, I saw her going towards the bathroom, so I took my eyes off her. My husband and I continued our dinner like nothing happened, forgetting about the event. After I finished eating, I got up to go to the bathroom when we heard a car alarm. I saw the restaurant owner running outside to see what happened. He came back and after a few seconds he looked at me and said, "It's your car, ma'am. It's that lady from before." I ran outside and the woman stands next to my car with a rock in her hand and the handicap placard in her other hand. My window is broken and glass is all over the ground. "What's wrong with you?" I screamed. "I figure that I should take the sign from your car. I know you're faking the disability, so I want to stop you two from scamming other people too," she replied, showing me the sign in her hand. "You broke my car and stole from it. Do you realize what you are doing?" As I started walking towards her, she started running to her car. I took big steps following her. My husband was right behind me and he was as angry as it gets. "Didn't you say you could barely walk? Now you're running!" I screamed. "You said you could walk 10 steps." She got in her car and locked the doors. She placed a handicap placard on her windshield and laughed. I looked at her as she left the parking lot and I then turned around to the owner. "Please tell me that you have security cameras around here." "Of course, ma'am. Come with me." The restaurant owner gave me a recording of the whole incident from beginning to end and we went straight to the police. I showed them the recording and explained everything once again. It did not take much and they found her home address, so we all went there. She had a big white house with a big property around it. In her yard there was the BMW that we saw before and another one. She was really rich. The police knocked on the door and she opened it. "What's the problem, officer?" "You broke this woman's window and stole from her car," said the policeman, pointing at me. "No, I didn't. She's lying. She's a scammer," she screamed. "We have a video of it," he replied. "Well, right before the video started, she came and stole the handicap placard from my car. I just wanted to get it back." She walks to the car and shows the policeman the placard in the car, repeating that it was hers from the start. "It doesn't work like that, ma'am. The video was always on. We can see you from the moment you got there till the moment you left." The police officer puts handcuffs on her as she was screaming and trying to kick him. "You are arrested for aggression, for breaking into their car, stealing from it and running from the restaurant." She screamed at me and the police officer, and she started calling me a fake disabled person and my husband a dumb scammer. The policeman took the woman to the station and we were finally free of her. In less than a week we received money to repair our car, as she was forced by the law to do so. We got a new placard and I wrote my name on the back of it. "Next time something like this happens, I can show them my name written here," I said, laughing. I later found out that she went to jail and that she was deeply angry with me and my husband, but we did not care. And yeah guys, I don't know what is up with these people that don't believe that others are disabled. I don't even get how you can have the audacity to even presume that. Anyway, let's continue with the stories. And the next one is titled "Cannot Replace Me." I worked for a company for just under 5 years. The company I worked for existed for an additional 10 years prior to me, and while I worked at this company, it ballooned to be the #1 provider in the region for its unique service with about 75% of the market. It was a small business of about 15 employees. I loved my job and the skills I learned while working there were quite valuable. I loved my team and the clients we provided services for. My twice-yearly reviews with the owner were always 10 out of 10 with no recommendations for improvement. I was exceptional at my job. I handled company operations, HR and payroll, customer service, marketing, employee management, schedules, employee and client training, and many other things at this company. I was also able to step in and do any of my teammates' jobs if they were out sick or on vacation. The owner of the company was giving out a bonus late summer last year, and mine, while being more than the previous year, was notably less than my teammates. I asked the owner, "Are the bonuses related to performance? And if so, what could I have done to earn more?" The owner replied, "The bonuses are not performance related. You are just more replaceable than the others." "Oh, okay," I replied and proceeded to process each of the bonuses and then went to lunch. I called my spouse to gain wisdom and advice. I was pretty lit but did not want to make a rash decision. My spouse is very intelligent, and while they are not a fortune teller, they have an ability to foresee various responses and all the potential outcomes. They are business-wise and have been on the executive team of a large company for the past 21 years, while also serving on several community boards and business advisory boards. We decided together to continue forward with our scheduled vacation and use the time away to calm our minds, relax and have fun. And to also determine the best course of action for me. We were leaving after working one more day, so I worked like all was normal the rest of the day and the following day, and then left on vacation. While away, we discussed several scenarios, the potential outcomes, consulted with a business advisor and a business attorney. With all the advice I received, I determined that upon my return from vacation, I would resign from my role with a 2-week notice. However, in a fit of rage, I was immediately terminated by the owner, which was one of the scenarios we thought would happen, so I was prepared for the owner's poor reaction. During the next couple weeks, I created and opened a competing business offering similar services. However, I offered more customizable options with higher quality service and results. I knew our clients wanted these options and had proposed said options several times at the old workplace, but they were never greenlighted to implement the changes for no reason other than the owner did not come up with the idea, so clearly it was a stupid idea. I also maintained communications with a few people from my old team. My old team did not relay the day-to-day happenings at my previous workplace, and I never asked about the company. However, they would vent to me on occasion, I would listen without comment. I knew service quality and the work environment in general suffered since my departure. Morale went down and clients were less satisfied. I also read the Google and Facebook reviews for the old company, and yikes. Additionally, 2 full-time and 1 part-time people were hired to fill my role, and a portion of my responsibilities like HR and payroll were filled by outside companies. I quickly built up my business and within 3 months was able to hire several of my old teammates. They were able to jump in on day 1 with minimal training as they were the best employees at my old workplace. The quality of previous workplace offerings continued to fall, which sent additional business my way and quickly caused incoming work to be non-existent at the old workplace. My old workplace went from being the #1 provider of unique service in the region to nothing in a matter of months. My previous employer is now searching for gainful employment. I know this because over the weekend, owner applied for a position at my spouse's company. Side note, I think my spouse's company should bring my previous employer in for an interview, but when they arrive, surprise, I'm the interviewer and all I say is, how replaceable am I now? My spouse, rightfully so, has said no. Moral of the story, don't tell your employees they are replaceable because they might create a competing business that is better than yours while taking your best employees and your clients, which will leave you with no business to sell. The owner's whole retirement plan was to sell the business and starting all over by searching for employment under someone else. Looks like your company was replaceable, but not me. And yeah, Ripe Stars, that was absolutely brilliant revenge and nobody could have done it better than this guy, I think. The next one is titled Walk of Shame. From a good friend who lives in South America, not my story, hers. This happened about 16 years ago. My friend, let's call her Maria, had been dating a guy called Oscar for 2.5 years or so when she found out on the grapevine, if you live in a small town you'll understand, that Oscar had betrayed her. He had been to a party, got a girl drunk and slept with her. News of his actions had spread as gossip does. The worst of it was that it seemed that it wasn't the first time that it had happened by a long shot. Well, anyway, Maria heard and plotted revenge. She invited him to her flat for a special afternoon of fun with her and her friend Vanessa. Oscar could not resist the temptation, so he went. Picture the scene. He goes into the building where she lives, gets into the lift to go up to the 10th floor to get to her apartment. He rings the bell, he can hear music playing from behind the door, she opens the door and he walks in and sees that both his girlfriend Maria and her friend Vanessa are there, each wearing sexy outfits. Maria is holding a blindfold and tells him to wear it, he agrees and she puts it on him and tells him to strip. While he was busy, Vanessa put her clothes back on, walked out the apartment, leaving a doorstop to keep the door open and called the lift. That's an elevator to you Americans. She then walked back in, grabbed Oscar's clothes and threw them out the window into the car park below. She then left the apartment and went down the stairs, ringing doorbells as she descended. Maria had been leading Oscar around the apartment, disorientating him, and then let him out the apartment, closed the door behind her and got in the lift alone, calling him an unfaithful a-hole whose clothes are in the car park before the lift doors closed. Oscar ripped off the blindfold and must have realized how screwed he was, as he had to walk down 10 flights of stairs buck naked, passing laughing neighbors all the way. He collected his clothes and Maria never saw him again. Added for clarity, Maria went on the lift alone and held it open on the ground floor. Neighbors on the 10th floor had come out to see Oscar, setting him to walk down the stairs, thereby making it worse as Vanessa was going down the stairs, alerting as many people as possible. Also, people followed him outside, so he had to dress with an audience. The humiliation was intense. And yeah, Ripe Stars, I don't know if you remember that scene, but it kind of reminds me of the Walk of Shame in Game of Thrones. However, I'm not sure which one was more embarrassing. And the next one is part 1 of a special story. My girlfriend and I have been dating for over a year and a month ago she moved in with me. She has no kids, but I have 11-year-old twin boys. I'm a single dad, their mom left shortly after she gave birth. In the beginning, she would talk about my sons or goes to introduce them like, meet EJ and here are his sons with Down syndrome. And oh yeah, my boyfriend has kids but they have Down syndrome. And once commented to a friend, yeah, I want a baby but my boyfriend has disabled genes, I don't want a Down's baby. Which is incredibly ignorant, and I've told her how this bothers me. Put people before their disabilities, they have names. She usually apologizes and laughs it off. I thought she was just oblivious and didn't understand disabilities. Twins with Down syndrome are unique, and I tell them every day how special they are, so when she is referencing them in a negative way, it's a relationship red flag. Today is their birthday and I gave her enough money to buy balloons, party supplies, each a cake, their favorite food and to get a slip and slide. She offered to do this while I was at work. She said she was getting her hair done and then would go shop and set everything up. I was so excited to surprise my boys. I then pick my boys up from their summer day program and head home. I walk in and it is just my girlfriend. I asked her where everything was and she said, "Did you not see my text?" There was a text hours ago saying, "Oh no, I forgot my wallet." I said, "Okay, and?" She forgot her wallet and used my money to pay for her hair. I told her there was no way she didn't see it missing and started getting defensive. She said she had this hair appointment booked months in advance and would be put on a client blacklist at the salon for canceling, so she just used my money and insinuated she would do extra sexual favors to make it up to me. I asked her why she took my money and that I gave it to her for my boys, and she said, "It's not like they know it's their birthday, just tell them it's next month." I swear, I've never felt so much rage in my life. We don't share bank accounts. And then she said, "You have a good job, I will pay you back." I told her I gave her everything I had left until I get paid again. I get paid monthly. She said I was acting crazy, and when I told her to go back to the salon and have them refund her, shave her bald, get a IOU, or start sweeping up hair for it. Then she says again that we can just pretend it's their birthday on another day. She said she has no money to give to me right now. I told her what she did was stealing. I was not going to have a thief in my house around my kids and to get out. She then started crying, saying she has nowhere to go and that I cannot just evict her. She is not on the lease and has not lived here a full month, nor does she have any mail with my address. I did not realize until after she left that she stole my son's tablets, and I'm in the process of now filing a police report and I am shaking. I was distracted trying to calm them down because they got scared that I was upset. Not only do they have nothing for their birthday, they also don't have their tablets they use daily for communication and use nightly to calm them down before bed. We have food, but they were looking forward to having their favorites. I'm so tired of seeing people take advantage of people with disabilities who justify it as they don't know what's going on, let alone have it happen at home. And yeah guys, obviously OP really needs to get rid of that girlfriend because that is clearly the worst girlfriend ever. And the next one is part 2 of the girlfriend story. Almost 2 weeks ago, my ex stole my son's birthday money and destroyed their communication tablets that they use daily. Since then, I have not been able to hold her responsible for any of it. When I tried to file a police report, the officer told me that since I kicked her out of my house, I should just call it even, despite the tablets being over $200 each. I did file in civil court over the stolen birthday money, but was informed it will take months, which I will wait. I'm not dropping it. Since then, my boys are having epic behavioral meltdowns daily because they don't understand why I'm not giving them their tablets. They think they were bad and lost them. The tablets were utilized daily for communication and nightly to wind them down for bed. I've done my best to hold it together, but I am furious that she got away with it. It's not right and it's not fair to them. Today around 5 p.m. there was a knock on my door. It was a repo man telling me he was there to pick up my ex's car. She had not paid her car payments for months, so I asked to speak to the person who ordered the repo and acted like I would possibly make a payment to prevent it from getting towed. I have no money, but I wanted to know how long she had not paid because I have given her money twice to pay it a few months ago. She had been telling the lender that she could not lose her car because she had to transport her disabled kids. She used my boys to get sympathy from the lender, and I honestly have never been once again so furious in my life. She had not updated her info since getting a new job, and her family refused to tell them where she worked, so I did. I gave them her job address and I gave them the address where she had been staying since I kicked her out. In under an hour, my phone was blowing up from her that her car got taken away. I told her she should have just pawned the tablets instead of being a disgusting POS and destroying them if she owed so much money. Not the best revenge, but it is a start. And yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed today's revenge stories. If you wanna see more, please don't forget to like the video, and I see you again tomorrow.